The crime horrified Canadians and attracted international media attention because of the brutality of the killing, as well as the youth of the teens Reena Virk and those who attacked her. Reena Virk was a 14-year-old living in View Royal, a quiet middle-class suburb of Victoria, British Columbia. The troubled teenager rebelled against her parents and their strict rules as they were devout Jehovah's Witness. Reena would run away from home often. She went to live with her grandparents, but she wasn't happy with that arrangement either. Eventually, she was placed into a group home, but only after she falsely accused her father of sexually assaulting her. Reena's extreme measures to escape her reality was due to her being self-conscious about her weight and her struggle with self-esteem. To add on top of that, she wanted to fit in at school, but she went to a predominantly white school and was bullied for being different. The charges against her father were finally dropped, but perhaps if social workers had done a better investigation and Reena was never sent to a group home, she would have never met someone who would lead her to her death. The 14-year-old admired her carefree classmate, Nicole Cook. Nicole, unlike Reena, was popular in school, outgoing and charismatic. They met in a group home. However, they struck up a friendship that didn't last long. After the charges against her father were dropped, Reena went back home. One day, she took Nicole's phone book that she had left at her house and called some boys in it, telling them that Nicole wasn't as beautiful as she thought. Nicole had AIDS, Nicole's eyebrows and breasts were fake. And as you can imagine, Nicole was not happy about this. She hatched a plan with her friends Missy Pletch and Kelly Ellard. Fighting was common in their friend group, and it was decided the girls would get back at Reena by beating her up. On November 14, 1997, Reena was at her parents' house when Missy called her and invited her out. Nicole claimed that Missy made the call because Reena had messed around with her boyfriend, and thus she too was looking for revenge. Reena's mom pleaded with her daughter to stay home, reminding her daughter that these girls did not like her. However, Reena believed her so-called friends were ready to bury the hatchet. The party was in a field behind the Shoreline School in View Royal. Police arrived to break up the party, however the group quickly moved to a spot near Craigflower Bridge to drink and smoke. Reena was lured under this bridge as well. Nicole pressed her lit cigarette on Reena's forehead, starting a massive brawl. She went on to berate Reena, accusing her of spreading rumors about her and trying to steal her boyfriend. Kelly Ellard then punched Reena and 5 other girls got involved as well, and a boy named Warren Glowacki. No one stopped the beating. Reena lay bloodied and crying in the mud, then began staggering across the bridge to get home. Sadly, she would never make it. What no one realized was the 15-year-old Kelly and 16-year-old Warren followed Reena and moments later began beating her and dragging Reena's unconscious body into a nearby waterway and drowned her. 8 days later, Reena Virk's partly covered body was found in the inlet. Her injuries were so severe that the pathologist who examined her determined she would have likely died even if she had not been drowned. An autopsy report detailed extensive damage to Reena's body, multiple severe blows to the abdomen, bruising all over her face, a sneaker-shaped bruise on the back of her head, and swelling in her brain. In total, 8 of Reena's attackers were arrested, but 7 were prosecuted, including Nicole Cook, Missy Pletch, Warren Glowacki, and Kelly Ellard. 6 of the girls were convicted of assault causing bodily harm and sentenced up to 1 year in custody, but Kelly Ellard and Warren Glowacki were charged with Reena's murder. Warren was convicted of second-degree murder in 1999 and sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 7 years. It is unclear what his motive was. Kelly Ellard was sentenced to life in prison. People have argued her reasoning for killing Reena had to do with racism. In the wake of their daughter's murder, Suman and Manjeet Virk became prominent anti-bullying advocates, successfully pushing the government of British Columbia to create a number of anti-bullying programs in schools. Warren expressed deep remorse and even met with Reena's parents, Suman and Manjeet, and apologized to them. They forgave him. In 2010, he was given full parole, and Reena's parents supported this. As for Nicole Cook, in a 2011 interview, she said, quote, "I'm not responsible for her death in any way, shape, or form." Kelly Ellard continued to proclaim her innocence until recently. She was given conditional day parole in 2017 and had given birth to 2 children. In 2021, her parole was suspended when she failed to report domestic violence, but it was extended again in March 2022. The parole board also deemed her to be of a moderate to high moderate risk of reoffending. Recently, a new Hulu series, Under the Bridge, was released and is based on Reena Virk's murder. Reena Virk's killer, Kelly, told parole officers that a television series about the Victoria, BC teen's murder is, quote, disrespectful and will, quote, re-victimize Virk's family. I'm not sure if this was guilt, remorse, or shame, maybe a combination of all. Reena's mother, Suman Virk, turned anti-bullying advocate following the brutal murder of her daughter, but sadly, 20 years after her daughter's death, Suman passed away choking while eating at a cafe. Although Hulu's TV series explores Reena's murder, I hope that people remember that there was a real Reena Virk, an innocent 14-year-old who was murdered. Retired police officer Chris Horsley, who was a media liaison during Reena's murder, told reporters, adding to his knowledge, producers of the Hulu show Under the Bridge did not speak with the original investigators of this case. Quote, "It's a real story with real victims, and I urge people that do watch the series to please never lose sight of the fact that an innocent 14-year-old girl lost her life. This is a tragic case. There is no doubt about that. A girl who just wanted to fit in was murdered for being different. I hope that the remaining Virk family, Reena's father and her brother, can find some peace."